From 1930, I am super excited. I'm using a super simple recipe out of this 1930 book, New Delineator Recipes. And it's basically just two ingredients: 2 pounds of Sarah cherries, weighed and stoned, and 1.5 pounds of sugar. So I apologize. I do not have all of my defrosted cherries pitted, so I'm working on that right now. I have my scale. I do have my 1.5 pounds of sugar weighed out, and I am getting the pits out of the cherries. So I need 2 pounds. I'm at about 10 ounces right now. So we will talk about the rest of the recipe. We'll talk about jam making. Um, right now, no one is here in this live, but if you watch the replay, if you show up in a little bit, I'm planning on being here at least a half an hour or so. And I hope that someone joins us. So, how many of you love cherry jam? I am a big fan. I love sour cherries because they make really, really good pies. They are delicious. You can see I have a whole bag of them here, and then I have another bag of them here, and I have two more bags in the freezer because I am lucky enough that my parents have a fruit orchard, and so sometimes the sour cherries produce a lot. In the last couple of years, they have. And so I've tried to make things out of them, also pies, tarts, other things. So I'm hoping to do more cherry recipes out of vintage books down the line. So let me know in the comments down below if you like to make jam, if you've ever done it before. I really prefer the recipes without pectin. I just like fruit and sugar. A general rule is a cup of fruit to a cup of sugar. That will usually work. There are more specifics, of course, but we will talk about that later. But yeah, I just like to keep it really, really simple. You don't really need much more than fruit and sugar. Sometimes lemon juice, depends on the fruit. Um, what is your favorite kind of jam? I would love to know. If I don't eat all the strawberries, I love I love strawberry jam, but even if I grow a lot of strawberries or go strawberry picking, I end up eating them all. So raise your hand if that's you. So, yeah, jam making, it's not too difficult, but one of the reasons I don't have my cherries already is because you need to clean the jars, get them sterilizing in the oven, get the lids cleaned, get them sterilizing, get everything all set up. And then the actual jam making part is fairly quick. It involves a lot of boiling, but that's all right. Um, and I don't know about you, but I know in the summer it's the height of fruit season. Everything is available. But to me, it's both way too hot to be in the kitchen and it's very overwhelming to try and get all that done. So that's why I usually freeze things and I can go at my own pace the rest of the year when it's a little cooler. So I would love to know your opinion on that. Seems like time gets compressed and then all of a sudden all the fruits and everything is ready at once and it's a lot. So plus I tend to be a person that I have a tendency I cannot start on projects until I get the house clean, get the laundry going, get everything in order because I just cannot concentrate. I'm thinking about those other sort of um, undone things, if that makes sense. I don't know if you have those issues. I wish I could kind of work around things a little bit better, but that is just my mode of operation. So, yes, let me know what you think. And yeah, it's making a lot of cherry juice. I might have to save this juice for later. As you can see, I have a tray with a plate on it and then my kind of paring knife here. I do have a cherry pitter, but unfortunately, these cherries are so cute and beautiful, but they are just too small for the cherry pitter. So here we are doing the work. But any moment, I'm going to take a little break from pitting these, and I want to show you the rest of the setup. I do want to get to the jam making part before this live is over. I really, really hope. So I'm going to finish what's on my plate, and then you'll have to pardon me moving the camera, but I'm going to show you my jam making setup. Now we're up to 13 ounces. We're getting there. Getting close to 16 ounces or a pound. Okay, I'm going to stop there for just a second. I'm going to take you out of here. You can follow me around. So at the stove, we have the lids heating. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit here. So I have the rings and the lids, and I'm reusing some lids from some jam jars. And then over here, I have a big kind of stock pot. That's where the sugar and the cherries are going to go. And then I have a clean towel down here where I'm going to put the jars. I like to put them upside down. And then here in the oven, we have our jars heating with water inside. So pardon that the oven needs a little bit of cleaning, but I use it constantly. I make, sourdough bagels every week. And oh, yeah, let's set it like this so you can at least see me doing the pitting. I just do so much stuff that it's hard to stop and clean the oven. I do try to do it on a semi-regular basis. But yeah, I need to do my spring cleaning, but now I kind of want to do gardening. So let me know if you kind of have a regular schedule for spring cleaning or if you'd rather be outside getting those fruit and veggies and flowers started. I am always excited about that. Do any of you have fruit trees? We have, here at home, we have pears that are just kind of starting out. They don't have a lot of pears quite yet. And also apples and a little bit of berries, some huckleberries and tiny bit of blueberries coming along. So hoping to add to that collection as time goes on. Yay, we're at 14 ounces, so we're almost halfway here. I apologize for this taking so long, but thank you for keeping me company. And yeah, it's fun to be here and chat with you. So let me know if you like this kind of live style of video, or if you prefer the edited, put together videos. I'm thinking of trying these at least once a week. And then I, of course, will have my longer vintage menu videos. So, yay! And we just crossed over 300 subscribers. I know we're still a very small channel, but it is exciting. We're almost at 15 ounces here of cherries. I want to keep looking down so that I don't cut my finger. So let's see. Are you looking forward to Easter? This is a fun topic. I want to keep the conversation going, even though I don't have anyone here yet, but you never know when someone might show up. So, um, these are good things to comment down below in the comments if you watch this later. So, yes, what do you do for Easter? I love to have brunch, but I work on the weekends. So, I'm just going to be making brunch casseroles that we can throw in the oven later, and then we're having like a dinner brunch party with my parents. So it'll just be a small little thing, but it'll be really nice and really fun. I think I'm planning a French toast casserole and an egg casserole and some fruit, sausages, juices, coffee, tea, all that stuff. Probably decaf in the evening. But yeah, let me know what you are planning for Easter, if it's a brunch, a dinner. Um, we don't really do egg hunts anymore because everybody is older, but um, this is probably the last year my son will be home for giving him an Easter basket. So I'm going to still do that tradition. Um, and maybe I'll send him one when he's in college in the fall. Well, I won't send him an Easter basket in the fall, but you know what I mean, if he doesn't come home that weekend. Got to keep those traditions alive with the chocolate bunny. I just love those. And I noticed that there are so many marshmallow flavors now. I even saw kind of a spicy, I think it was a spicy mango one. There's so many flavors of those little bunnies. So it's getting crazy. Let me know if you like Easter marshmallows. What's your favorite Easter treat or candy or food? I think it's a fun time of year. Sometimes we used to hide the plastic eggs, um, and we would put candies and some funny little kind of fortune messages in there, kind of little jokes. And we just hide those for each other here at home, and that was really fun. So, yeah, I have so many fun memories of family Easters as well. Usually, an older kid would hide the eggs, and then the younger kids would come and get them later on, and sometimes somebody peeked to see where they were, and sometimes they didn't, but it was fun. So, yes, I am very excited about this cherry jam. I realized I should have bought probably more jars. But then again, I'm not sure. Oh, yay, we're over a pound now. I'm not sure how much this is really going to make, so maybe I have enough jars. Um, But certainly the next time I make jam, I'm going to have to get more. So, and I would love to know what brings you to this channel, what you like about vintage cooking. If you collect vintage cookbooks, my collection is relatively small. It takes up two or three, no, like three shelves more or less in my kitchen. We have lots of other books. Oh, I do have a few that are not in the kitchen, my afternoon tea cookbooks. Some of them, most of them are from the 1980s and 90s, those cookbooks, but now they're kind of retro. So that is really fun. I am excited to do recipes out of those as well. I think I'm most fascinated by recipes that are the oldest from the 20s, 30s, 40s. I love all the different eras, but I'm especially fascinated by those because I, of course, wasn't around then. So it's fun to learn what life was like back then. You can get little snippets of that from, how life was back then. So, yeah, let me know what you love about vintage cooking, vintage recipes. Something that I have seen is that there are fewer directions in some of the really older recipes. I think it assumed, um, I've got juice splattering all over. That's why I have this towel to clean up here and there so I'm not staining the counter too bad. It's just a Formica counter, so it's not a big deal. But let's keep this cleaned up. These cherries go all over. Um, so yes, it's fun to see, sometimes, like for example, the pie recipes. I think in this book, they tell you to make a crust and, continue on with the pie recipe, but there are no crust recipes there. So maybe they just figure you have it in a different book or you just learned somehow. Um, and I practically have a crust recipe memorized, but sometimes I change it up a little. So I would love if they would actually have a recipe for that in there. It's just so funny that they don't, but that is perfectly fine. Ah, yeah, I've noticed that the directions are very sparse on those older recipes for sure. So I think they just assume that you've gained knowledge, in your family or, that sort of thing. They, of course, give you amounts and general instructions, but sometimes you have to rely on what you know. Or luckily now we can look up anything super quick. So that is also an advantage if we don't understand what they're talking about. Or they don't give us a pie crust recipe. So there's some really interesting pies in this book I'm going to have to try for sure. Okay, we are almost a pound and a half. So we're getting closer. I want to speed this up so we can actually make the jam. So, yeah, those of you watching the replay will be able to skip forward if you would like to me actually making the jam because I'm getting close enough. I'm going to stay on here for sure and at least, get to the jarring part is my hope. So, these lives are kind of new for me, so I'm just trying to keep the conversation going here and maybe somebody will show up. I saw somebody was waiting before the live stream started and then they left. Shoot. But as time goes on, it will get busier. But we're just going to keep carrying on as if there are a lot of people here. And that is the name of the game. Okay. So yes, we are getting close to the jam. Let me know if you have any memories of making jam. Maybe you made it in your family with your mom or aunts or grandma, or even for that matter, dad, uncle, anyone in your family if you like making jam. I used to get really excited when the blackberries were ripe because here in Oregon, the blackberries, you do not need to buy blackberry plants because they just grow like crazy weeds all over. We're always almost trying to get rid of them, but we do keep small patches. And I remember getting so excited to pick the blackberries, and it was always a thing. I, of course, loved to eat them, but I really wanted to make stuff. like pies and jam. So that was a big priority for me. It was always pie first. Like if I picked enough to make a little pie, that was the